Beatriz, how did you find carnivore?
Well, it's a long story. I have been struggling with rheumatoid arthritis since I was 23. I have two knee replacements. I had four knee scopes in my right knee, and the fifth intervention was a knee replacement, and I have a knee replacement in my left knee also. I started to find like for a lot of years, like 20. I'm 44 now. I think I have been struggling this with 20 years, and I have been at the beginning, like the first years, I didn't ask or I didn't doubt about medications or doctors. I didn't find I didn't have the necessity to look for another alternative to do something about my health. But I got to a point where I was really afraid because I remember myself telling I'm going to start with sulfasalazine, and then I started with prednisone, and then I had cortisone shots, and then I had to go to my doctor's office to take out synovial fluid. Like first it was once a month or once 2 months, and then it was like weekly, and then the cortisone shot they gave me after they took the synovial fluid didn't work out, so I needed to take it out daily. And as I noticed that this was progressing, and each medicine I took, it worked for a while, and then it didn't work. I was really afraid to get to the point to inject Humira. I saw all these TV commercials and all the side effects it had, and I thought that that was my last resource in rheumatoid arthritis, and I was like 39. So if they worked, they're gonna work for a while. And then what was my other option? And my my what I had trouble with was my big joints, and were the ankles, the knees, shoulder, jaw, and I couldn't like sustain myself. I couldn't be standing up. So it I was really afraid. I had panic attacks, depression, and when the doctor told me you have to take Humira or this disease is going to go maybe to an organ or something, and then there's no way back. I don't know why I got the strength to go to another rheumatologist and ask him to start all over again with maybe another medicine. And he gave me hydroxychloroquine. I remember that. And he told me, yes, you are really stressed. Stress has a lot to do with your disease. And well, I started, it worked for a little while, but then it got very bad. So I went with a health coach who told me to do keto. And when she told me to do keto, I started doing keto, and my sister she did the Dr. Berg certification on keto and fasting. And we started together, and then I started like to feel a little like better. I was starting to feel a little bit better, but at the same time I did the ice baths, which helped me a lot with inflammation, and maybe meditation, because when you're in the ice bath you cannot think anything else, like just to breathe. And then I always started doing CrossFit, because with my second knee replacement, I had to do this physical therapy. And after I finished physical therapy, they sent me to do CrossFit with a personal trainer. So I started there with my push-ups were standing up. I was like, my coach helped me to walk. I couldn't walk. I was like, really, I didn't have any muscle, any muscle mass, any strength, nothing. So I started from zero, like I was like if I had 95 years old. And I started to improve every day, every day, every day. And we do it. I bought my Keto Mojo, and I started to track my glucose and ketosis, and I had a really good ketosis. I did a 5-day fast, and I started to improve my markers. I started to walk better. I started to gain muscle mass. It was that I started at 221, 220, and I have now 4 or 5 years, and I am really doing good. But how do I get to carnivore? 3 years after doing keto, when you're doing fine, like I did, and I get off my medications, and I was like really happy. I started to study for health coach, and there they started to tell me like eat the rainbow. Um, you have to add like sweet potatoes. They're so nutrient dense foods, and I started to like vegans are okay too. So I started to get all confused, and people in on my family, for example, or friends, like they told you, when are you going to eat normal again? And well, I started to do the eat the rainbow thing. More veggies, more colors, the better. I also did a lot of I'm really good at cooking keto, and I started to do a lot of keto desserts with monk fruit, stevia, allulose, almond butter, almond flour. So doing that daily for me was like poison. So after few months onto 24, I got like my PCR and my C-reactive no, my C-reactive protein, and the other one is erythrocyte sedimentation rate, were the two markers I always fight for, and they went up. And I started in my back, a really back pain. I started to walk strange again. I was really afraid. And I get to Michaela Peterson's story, Sean's Baker book, The Carnivore Diet, bought everything, started with ketovore, because I started with ketovore because I was afraid to start carnivore. Because I had all these things in my head that eating meat was bad for you, and that high cholesterol is bad for you, and how I'm gonna eat so different like everybody else, even though I started to studying them. And then I found Dr. Suez, and I found Filippo Veria, and I was like really happy to see all those doctors, but I didn't knew them, so I was not their patient. I was like in doubt. I found this doctor from Mexico who is an SMHP member, and now I am SMHP member too. And and he read my blood tests, and he gave me that security I needed to have a doctor behind myself. And then in 3 months from being carnivore, my those markers went down. I felt really good, and then it all makes sense. All that thing I read in the carnivore diet book, and all those things about oxalates, anti-nutrients of the plants, and all the things I did and didn't, and I wasn't aware about my body, like peppers get me bloated, and I ate them because they were colorful, and veggies are good for you. So yeah. So I started like proving on myself that carnivore was very good for me. And here I am. I am like almost 2 years in carnivore. I'm almost all the time I'm a carnivore, and then I go to lion for a month, and then carnivore again. And then something funny, like I don't know if it's just me or it's everybody, but I'm a carnivore, I'm a lion, I'm perfect, and then I started negotiating with my body what else I can do, like to be normal. Like for example, I love heavy cream, I love cheese, and I can't do it. I when I do that, I feel bloated. Sometimes one elbow swollen. My in my face, I get these things, these rashes. And then I try to, if I see some keto dessert, I try it. If I try it once, nothing happens. But if I try it for 3 days, it happens. Yes, I'm really reactive to oxalates, to other bases. I don't know. And here I am in I studied. I did a carnivore course from Nutrition Network with Dr. Suez. Um, I started to study for myself, like, because I saw that medicine was not going to do anything for me, like, not cortisone, not sulfasalazine, not Humira. So what can I do? I started to. I'm a health coach. I'm SMHP member. I did the carnivore thing. I'm doing a certification in cancer with Nutrition Network, in sugar addiction and carbs. I started to do all these things, like, to help others and to help myself, because I wanted an answer. I was like, why my body is strange, why my body is attacking itself, why I'm not normal. And yesterday I had this dinner party with my neighbors, and they told me, I remember seeing you when you were really bad. You walked with with crutches, or with a walker. And I remember this thing we remember yesterday, that I couldn't even, when I was in mass, I'm a Catholic, I couldn't even stay up, standing up to listen to the priest saying a lecture, or I couldn't do it. I couldn't get on my knees. And I remember myself telling why I'm so different, why I can't. And this person who is in front of me, who is way bigger than me, or he's just a dad, he's also a grandparent, is much way better than me. And I'm young and I have little kids. And if you start thinking, it can be really hard on yourself, and it can make you be in depression and with panic attacks, and to doubt about your body, because it's not functioning the way it should be. But the reality is, it works. But we ate like really bad for since I was a kid, or we don't have this attention that everything you put on your mouth counts. And nobody told you about, well, nobody told me about like leaky gut, stress, insulin, carbs, ketosis. And when I remember when I went to CrossFit, I went with my personal coach, but I was on pain, and I went and I did what I could. And maybe another doctor will have told me, don't move, and no, yes, you have to move. So um thank God I got to the way that I can be myself right now. I can do CrossFit. I lift heavy. I walk. I jump. I do anything, and I'm medication free, being carnivore.
So that's considering you've had 2 knee replacements. That's amazing that you are so active now. Like, there's no pain,
No,
no stiffness.
nothing,
Wow. Yeah,
nothing.
like,
But
I know people that have had 2 knee replacements, like my mother being one of them, and, like, if she sits on the floor, for example, she struggles to get up from the floor because of her knees and because it's just so stiff, and yeah.
I have been working for years to do past my 90 degrees on squat. It's painful. It has been a lot of work for me, and I don't know, the for these years from 2021 that I started to today, I have missed CrossFit days for, like, I think 5. I don't miss my sessions. I work extra at the end, so I can have this mobility in my ankles, in my knees, in my hips. It has been a lot of work, but you can do it. It's not easy. If I go on the floor and I sit down, I struggle a little bit to stand up, because I can't. My knees cannot bend a lot. That's my um goal to do this squat, and to like, this is good, but I cannot put this thing here, I because I have knee replacements. So
Wow.
yeah. And
So
at the beginning, I remember my coach told me, my goal with you is gonna be that when you fall down, you can stand up by yourself. Like, he saw me like I was really bad. So I was walking like with my knees like this. I had no muscle mass. I got to the point where I couldn't stand up from my bed without using my hands. I had like really zero strength, and it went like really quick. So that's the importance for us to be to build muscle mass. The more you have, the better, and to do strength work every day.
right. Wow. And so you mentioned depression before.
Yeah.
This renewed ability to just move easily, having no pain, that must have helped the depression, yeah?
Yeah, a lot. And obviously my depression was because I, when I had it, I didn't knew about insulin resistance, and it also has to do with insulin, the depression, and those well, yeah, that lack of dopamine. I don't know, but it's all related. And they gave me this Prozac, which helped but not helped. It was not the root cause. And when I started to moving every day better, and I was starting to get better, yeah, I left Prozac by myself. I think it's not okay. I know, but I had lived a lot of stuff. So taking Prozac, what else can happen to me? Or, I was not afraid.
Right.
And I knew like deep prescribing was slowly, so I deep prescribed myself slowly.
R right. Wow. Um, so what does a typical day of eating look like for you?
I eat well, meat. Here in the north part of Mexico where I live, we have really, really good meat and really, really good pork. And I eat meat ribeye New York, or ground beef, or burger patties. I do good with butter and eggs. I don't know why. Lately, I want just the yolks. I'm not too happy when I have the whites. And when I eat pork belly or pork, I do good too. And I'm trying to open up myself more, like to eat like all the animals. But I don't crave chicken, for example. I just eat meat, pork, and eggs. Usually the yolks. That's what my days look like. Sometimes I eat once, sometimes I eat twice. On the weekends, maybe I can eat 3 times a day, but smaller meals. I do fasting. I would do CrossFit fasted. I use my bulletproof coffee also. And I took away veggies. I'm really a carnivore, and when I want to, like, if I have some kind of inflammation in one of my elbows or ankles or something, I notice really quickly, because you cannot do CrossFit the way you should with inflammation. So and that's when I didn't sleep well. I ate something of almonds, something keto, something sweet. In my case, I have some kind of heavy cream, half and half, or cheese. And even though I know sometimes I pay the price, but it's really for me, it's like really, like, why just with eating those things I get inflamed? Why? And how long? Well, I don't know either. Like Michaela Peterson, she cannot go back either. We'll see.
The good thing for you is, though, even though some of those things can inflame you, y you have control of it now, right? Because you've
Yeah, yeah.
eliminated so much, so you know exactly, like, "Okay, I had some cheese. I don't feel good, so I'm gonna stop eating the cheese for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, and it clears up. So yeah. Or I'd say sometimes, yeah, if I knew, for example, on Christmas, I have like more keto meal. This year, I don't know. I think I will do it carnivore. But last year's, okay, I got inflamed. I take one maybe one Advil, something that helps me, and then it gets under control. I don't need to go back to any rheumatoid arthritis medication or that strong. No, I pay the price. I know today I'm gonna do it, and tomorrow I'm gonna take something, and that's it. Yeah, I'm in control. I know what is it.
Right. So, what has the reaction been from your family and friends? Is carnivore a little bit of a strange concept in the
Yeah,
north of
sure.
Mexico?
Super strange. And what's going on with your cholesterol? When are you going back to it normal? Is it fun? Like, I try to explain that when you feel this good, people forget. I don't forget how I felt. So when you are carnivore, after a time you feel so good, and then I don't know why, but I really crave meat, and I really like my meal times. I really want to be time for it to eat, to get my ribeye in New York, and that's what I want. I don't want another thing. So how to explain that? Maybe they don't believe you. I don't know. Yesterday I had a dinner party and I didn't. Well, I had some shrimp, but I don't go back to the things that I ate before. No, I like to feel good. And for my family, it's really strange. Yes, you know what? People are we are afraid of fat, and I always add butter, and I use in my kitchen. I use that fat from bacon, like my grandmother did years and years ago, or butter, ghee, that fat, or I buy the how you say beef tallow. Yeah, I
Yeah.
use butter and do it. And there are a lot of people that think that cooking with olive oil or avocado oil is better, or like to eat more fat. It was a long job for me to stop fearing fat. So I understand we have this belief that fat is bad, so it's difficult to change that thing. But I'm trying. My kids, I try to do that to them too. Like, I don't give them carbs. Maybe they eat them on the street or when they go with their friends. But in my house, I don't give them carbs anymore. And if they don't, I don't do veggies anymore either. And they don't like them anyway.
Yeah, there's not many kids that'd be screaming at their parents to give them veggies,
Give me
right?
broccoli. No, I don't think so. So yeah, I don't know anybody here in my small circle that is carnivore. I'm a health coach now, so I'm trying to with my clients who are here. Yeah, there are a few that are doing the effort to do it, or ketovore. Ketovore is much more accepted, and now I have found carnivores because I've been coaching. I work with this doctor who is specialist in metabolic health too, from here in Mexico. And well, now I know people who are carnivore because they have autoimmune conditions or cancer or something, and well, they started doing carnivore and they need high ketosis and stuff. So those are the ones that I know. But like in my neighbors or friends or no, there's no carnivores.
Right. Yeah. So are you working with people just on a face-to-face basis, or are you working with people all across Mexico, like
All
via
across Mexico,
internet?
yeah, yeah. Because we do it on online.
Mm. So,
The doctor that I work with, he's in like near Cancun, Merida. It's in the really south part of Mexico, and I'm on the really north part of Mexico.
um, nice. So in Mexico, how is the metabolic health generally? Are people, pretty sick?
I think so, yes. And for me, it was really hard to find uh, Dr. Ruben, which is in this stuff about SMHP, Nutrition Network, Low Carb USA. I haven't seen another. There's another doctor, a really good one from Mexico, Adrian Sotomota, which is doing these old studies about cholesterol, and he works with Nutrition Network or with SMHP. But I haven't. I saw a lot of doctors, and I saw a lot of people here in Mexico, and nobody told me about carnivore or ketovore. Yeah, there's a lot of people doing keto, yeah, but in here in Mexico, there's a lot to do in metabolic health. There's a lot of doctors. When I see a client with Dr. Ruben or something that has another doctor, they're just really in the old school thing about diet and cholesterol and fat. It's 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 unbelievable.
Yeah. Um, and I guess, like, similar to how, breads and pastas are such big staples in Australia, America, there's a lot of corn-based stuff that are staples in Mexico, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
here we have a lot of corn, yes, and a lot of junk food, a lot of sugar. The
Yeah.
daily basis in I was like thinking about that in the lunch boxes for kids, the stores in every corner, and what we give in birthday parties for the kids or to dinner is like really a carb load thing.
And, you know, children these days have got so much more access to ultra processed carbohydrates than
Mhm.
we ever did when we were kids. I mean, it still wasn't good, but these days it's terrible how easy the access is to these basically poisons.
Yeah, yeah. Is that
Y-
is that and you are the weird
Right,
if you try to do the carnivore thing in your kids, yes.
right. Yeah, you're the weird one, not me pushing
Yeah,
the donuts into my mouth. Um,
yeah.
yeah. So, Beatrice, at this stage, there's no going back for you. Like, it's carnivore forever.
Carnivore forever. Yeah, because if I now I know I have studied a lot, and now it makes sense when I see hear all the classes from Team Noakes, for example, and how Angel Keys did the thing about sugar and fat, and well, I know the story now, and I have lived the story. No, I there's no way back. Maybe when if I like a lot something, like you can try, but there's nothing right now that under how's the word, like for me to take to eat. I prefer to be good.
Right.
I'm a scared to be in that place again.
Yeah. And that's totally understandable. Um,
Hmm.
so if you were advising someone on starting carnivore, would you tell them to just jump in, start carnivore totally 100%, or would you say go slowly?
No, totally 100%. But you know what? I if you hear my story, I started keto, and then I did ketovore, and then I did carnivore, and it was really easy. So maybe you can do it like slowly. That depends on the person, depends on the oxalate dumping you have or the keto flu or whatever. And maybe if you feel bad, it's gonna make you go back or say that it doesn't work. So if you do, depends on what you have and the ketosis you need or whatever. But definitely is the goal. Definitely you should try it. Definitely, you should try to be carnivore or even lion diet, depending on what you have. For most people with rheumatoid arthritis and that have advanced autoimmune diseases, lion diet should be the way or the fastest way. But if you come from eating like all junk food, a lot of sugar, and then you jump to the lion diet, maybe it's gonna be really hard for that person. There are people who do it great. There are people who don't. So doing it slowly, but it's another way to reaching your goal too. I was keto for for a few weeks, just because I was like, is it good? Like how it's gonna feel? But after I saw this, I read all the book, and I started to when you follow people on Instagram, that you start to look, and more people. So that comes like of your while you're searching. So when I was decided, it was like really easy. And now, if whatever who person can tell me whatever thing, I'm firm. I know what I know. I know that I'm carnivore, or lion. I know it's good for me. So there's nothing that can make me doubt. Maybe when I was starting, I was like, oh, is it good in my cholesterol? But when you get that information, when you study, and you, it makes sense, and you know it, and you get certified, like me, for example, well, I'm not afraid anymore about, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Um, so Beatrice, if people want to reach out to you, how can they find you on social media? How can they get in contact?
In Instagram, we're starting to do a page, the Dr. Ruben and I, and he speaks English also, and he had patients from the United States, for example, and we have a group, a metabolic health group in WhatsApp, and there we all share pictures from for of our keto mojo, from out of ketosis, or what I have for lunch, or I found this at Costco, or like not to feel alone, and they ask me if they have any doubts about things, and if it's a good question, we all have our own opinions, and we chat, and you start to do a community, and that's really good when you have something. I will, you know what I'm doing? What I would love to have when I was sick. So, and well, my Instagram is TICHIVA, is Tichina VH. I think I did it. I do it good. And soon we're gonna have this link for a page there, hopefully in January.
Awesome. Well, I'll link to your Instagram in the show notes.
All right.
Beatrice, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story and experience. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Are you going to be in Tennessee in May?
I will be, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw all these great carnivores are gonna be there. Like I already mentioned, I would love to be there. I'll do my best to be there and meet you in person.
Looking forward to it.